I think we may have some people already here since the time was a little off.
Hey y'all. We'll get to that in just a minute.
We'll give everybody just a few minutes on our real time, the time it was supposed to be. We'll give everybody just a few minutes and then kind of go into that.
Hey Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey everybody. Oh, don't forget this.
We won't.
Okay. I just
All right, we got some folks on. Uh, y'all make sure to hit the like button, and we apologize for the little bit of mix up. Hey, Cassie.
Yeah.
Oh, Zoe set it up while we were still on our trip, and we were on Eastern time when it set it up, and
Never.
apparently it went in as Eastern, and even though the thumbnail said 6 Central, I think it had it set up for 5 and probably sent out the reminders to y'all on the wrong time. So we're sorry about that.
Y'all.
But hello to everybody that's on.
That's right. Yeah, we are. It's been a long weekend and a long day today. We traveled back home and now we're settled in, and you can see we're not in the same place we normally are. Same couch, different wall because we're getting ready for Christmas. Cassie said you better not ever scare us like that again. Y'all, that's a whole story. Let me tell you. Let's just go ahead and get there.
Go ahead because they are waiting.
Well, I was so excited. We got to our bread and breakfast that we stayed at 4:30, thinking that we were going to just relax all evening. The next day was the lighting ceremony. We've had that in our head the whole time. We get there and she said, "Oh, are you guys getting ready to go to the tree lighting?" We're like, "Okay, so that's in 1 hour." So we get ready, put some clean clothes on and go go up a hill and down a hill to the square. And
yeah, if you know anything about North Georgia, it's mountains. So
yes,
2 blocks is great, but it's very hilly.
It is. It was wonderful. It was just an up down.
Yeah.
And I was in heeled boots and a dress. And we so we mosey and it's just getting crowded, and we find us a place where we're like, okay, let's just go live and let everybody see what we see. This is fun, and it's just something we can do to share with everybody, just to kick off our holiday season. And there we are, and we're counting down, and down I went. I said, I felt funny, and I said, Nick, you take this. I said, I grabbed him like this, and I was holding on to his pockets on his vest, and I said, I feel funny. I feel like I'm gonna pass out, and there I went. Not once. There I went twice.
Well, yeah.
So I came to, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm in a dress laying on the ground. And one of the ladies had tugged my skirt down and all. And so I sat up, and I'm okay. And I'm like collecting myself. I'm like, I'm backwards. The tree is behind me. And then I get up, and I was like, oh, here we go again. So back down we went. And then we start getting messages about it, and we're like, we don't even know how much of that actually recorded, because Nick, threw his phone in his pocket. Actually, I think my phone went on the ground.
Well, the problem is that Zoe was live, and I was recording on my phone for our video.
Right.
So we finally got caught up to see how much had happened. And when Zoe gave me hers and started down, I cut mine off, shoved it in my pocket. Well, Zoe's just ended up face down on the pavement.
Mm-hmm.
So
we did find I have a little crack right there.
We didn't realize that y'all had heard all that.
Right. We had to go back to see what all everybody had actually heard or saw.
And I was like, oh no, Zoe, this video is like 30 minutes long and we were only 15 minutes in.
Yes. So it was. So then I'm up, and if you know me, I'm very embarrassed at this point. And in the video, all you hear is me start talking, and then the crowd is going, yay! And it was not for me.
It was not.
That's what it sounded like. It was because they had finally lit the tree.
So right before Zoe goes down, you heard me kind of laugh.
Uh-huh.
Because only half the tree lit.
Yes, Diana, we were.
Yeah, we were live, Diana. And half the tree lit. So I kind of laugh, and then Zoe's saying, "Hey, I feel dizzy," and all the rest of that happens. Well, my mother, who watched the live later, thought the cheering was for Zoe, and I was like, Mom, she wasn't a hurt football player in a stadium. Nobody knew she was down. They were cheering for the rest of the tree lighting up.
Yeah, you can hear after that, everybody's like, oh, there's somebody on the ground. There's somebody on the ground. Well, somebody went and got one of the volunteer sheriffs, and here he comes, and he needs to take me to the tent, and I'm like,
with his strobe flashlight.
And he has a flashlight, and it's like a police car on a stick, and it's just like, wow.
It did not have a siren.
That's what it sounded like in my head. And it's going, wow, wow, and he's like, excuse me, we gotta get through, let us through. And I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm fine. But I did got over there. I had an EMT. They came and checked on me and checked my blood pressure. And it was, I feel like it might have been just a tad
low. It was a little, just slightly low, but it was not bad for you.
They're asking if maybe I was dehydrated. I drink a lot. I'm going to tell you what I feel like it was. We feel like it was anxiety. I suffer from anxiety already. I love people, but I have to recover from being around people. I wasn't like out there, but I think maybe it was just the people were kind of closing. Yes, Barney came and got me. That's exactly what it was.
Now, I do want to clarify, just because Zoe thinks it was anxiety, she's still going to be checked out. So.
Yeah, I'm going to. I battled. He said, so you have a drinking problem, right? And Wendy asked if I was standing with my knees locked. Well, naturally.
We asked about that.
Right. Naturally, I stand with my knees locked, the way my body's built. So I'm always conscious of that. Being in marching band, I remember, don't lock your knees. Don't lock your knees. And so with my body naturally locking my knees, I'm always shifting my weight from one side to the other. So I'm very conscious of that, and I don't think I let that, happen very often. So I'm going to be checked. I am, because I dealt with this back during the summer for about a 2-week span where my blood pressure dropped very low frequently and my heart rate. So we're going to,
but it was just slightly low this time.
Yeah.
You can hear a couple of voices on there. There were a couple of nurses that were really close by, and she asked something about Zoe's pulse. She needed to check Zoe's pulse, and I'm like, I had Zoe's pulse checked before she hit the ground.
Yeah,
so that was. What was that?
Cassie's saying that was her in August. She never had anxiety, but it came out of nowhere. Heart doctors and all sorts of stuff and everything good before I realized anxiety. That's right. And I'm not one. The anxiety is not a crippling anxiety. It's just I'm feeling like it may be just the pressure kind of.
There was a lot of people, and she was kind of anxious about filming and being live, I guess, and everybody around her, naturally, she's talking into a phone, so they're watching, and that probably had a lot to do with it. But we're gonna make sure.
Yeah, and everybody is saying it's your fault because you shocked me with maybe a carriage
So-
ride and
Cassie, I forgot that part. Cassie, we did get to do the carriage ride and we held hands for Lester. And Zoe did get on to me saying, "You are not just holding my hand for Lester."
he said, "I'm gonna say this is for you, Lester." I said, "It's supposed to be for me."
If y'all don't know, we were on a live when Cassie and Gary were going on a trip, and we were talking about holding hands in a carriage ride, and Lester was cracking jokes and saying just like a girl and all this stuff. So I made sure to do that.
Yeah.
But Zoe got overly excited and down she went.
There I went. Nick's been saying down goes Frazier.
Dude, I don't know how many are going to remember that. Do any of y'all remember Howard Cosell and his commentating on the fight where it was Frazier and George Foreman? And he's screaming, "Down goes Frazier." I told Zoe that I was going to put that in our video, and I thought, that may not be taken well. I better not do that. I was going to put Howard Cosell in the background screaming, "Down goes Frazier."
Lolene said she hopes the kids weren't watching. Actually, as soon as everything calmed down, we called to be sure they weren't.
Yeah.
And let my mother-in-law know not to just to be aware of what happened and just to kind of filter that. So, yeah. Yes, Cassie, that's me. I'm a people person, but sometimes I need a second to decompress when I start feeling weird. I do that. I can sometimes just need to back away a little bit and get that fresh breath and process a little bit, and then I'm okay. But yeah, we're good. It took me a little bit, and Nick didn't make me walk back up the hill and down the hill. He went and got the car and drove all the way around all the block roads.
Yeah, because all the streets were closed, so
Yeah.
I had to go all the way around the University of North Georgia to get to her.
Yes.
But they did tell me what street to come to, and I came all the way around so I could pick her up.
Yeah.
And we got just a little snippet of the ambulance pulling up with the lights on.
He did that teasing me.
I did. I said, well, wait a minute, because they were coming up and lights are going, and she's like, "Oh my God, they've got to cut those off." And luckily in the crowd were two off-duty fire medics from Dahlonega
that had just gotten it on their phone.
And they got the alert on their phone, so they came over and were actually assessing her before the ambulance ever got there.
Yeah.
And it was guys they worked with, and she's like, "They'll cut them off when they get close." And I'm holding the phone up. It's like, well, I'm recording this because there's red lights coming everywhere. And Zoe's freaking out because she's embarrassed. I did get y'all a little bit of a snippet of that, but it won't be much.
Yeah. Cassie said she's done it for years thinking she needed food and water. That's the first thing they asked me. Of course, I mean, I guess that's what they always ask you. Have you eaten?
Yeah.
Have you drank anything? Are you diabetic? But she said it wasn't until August she realized it was more than needing to eat when she went down hard, and it took her a week to get back to normal.
Yeah.
Well, you know what was so weird is when I finally was sitting there, I said, "Nick, you know when you get punched in the nose or hit in the nose really hard and it tastes kind of metallic? That's how I kept that taste." But all of my sinuses broke loose. Like, I've been sick, so I had some sinus pressure, and all that broke loose as soon as I come to and sat up. All that, my nose just started running, and all that broke loose. It was just, look at that. Wendy said that Alan had a limb fall out of a tree and cut the top of his head wide open. Oh my gosh, Wendy. And he's on here. Alan, you need to take care of yourself. My goodness.
Coming from the person that fell out in a square full of 2,000 people.
Y'all, I was like, it would just be me that.
It was such a Zoe thing to do. She'll do anything for views.
I know it.
And I wondered how many people would think you did that on purpose, because naturally, when they find out there's a live of that, y'all, we typically have 2 to 250
We are
on our live.
people are
just views.
So curious. People in general are just
There's-
curious.
There's like 800 views on Zoe going down.
Just on Facebook and then on YouTube and then the same on Facebook. So 1,600 people have watched me go down or heard me go down virtually.
Yeah.
Plus the other 1,000 that were standing around me going,
Oh, there was
hey,
way
there's a
more than
girl
1,000
on
by
the
then.
There's a girl on the
By
ground.
then, there was way more than 1,000. I just thought it was funny that, and I think, well, and Cassie and Gary asked for prayers for Zoe, and that was very sweet, and thank you for that, Cassie. I think some of theirs came over to watch. They were like, "Hey, we need to go see this girl fall out."
I would have too. I've been like, "Let me go see what this is all about."
It's fine, and Zoe would do anything for views. It just is what it is, even if it means showing her butt to 2,000 people.
Yeah. That's what I said. I said, "Oh my gosh, everybody can see my goodies." He said, "Yeah, everybody saw your butt. I had to pull your dress down." I was like, "Oh my gosh,
Carolyn, I really don't think y'all would have taken it well if I had let Zoe hit the ground while I videoed." I've already. Some people were glad.
We've already been joking about that. He said he was going to make a joke about getting more followers. Kim said a view is a view.
Well, some people were commenting as a positive that I was calm. And we had a comment back when you were calling the sheriff's department that I was too calm. I was like, well, that may be coming. Maybe
if Nick had not been as calm as he was, I would have come to and I would have been freaking out because Nick's freaking out. If Nick's freaking out, then I know something's wrong. And
Cassie, that's exactly right. But I told her. No, I don't think
Cassie said at least we didn't see your rear end on the live.
I did tell her that the whole square of Dahlonega, Georgia, saw it, but
at least I had on stockings.
We went down and she had on a long sweater over it, so we gathered it around her. But mostly I was just the reason she was facing the wrong way is as she went down, she's dead weight. So all I could do was cradle the back of her head and spin us both to slow her down.
Like I got my own Addams Family twirl, like Kim and Morticia. They just
yeah, it was kind of like that. Tim, you'll get this. My younger days were spent with the sheriff's department and the fire department, EMS, so it takes a lot to shake me up. And the comment the day she had the people at the farm about you're way too calm, somebody strange on your farm. Well, it just takes a lot.
Mama said you're my hero that night twice. He was.
Well, the second time I just got her to go down to her knees. I didn't have to catch her.
Just get down there, stay there for a minute, just don't be still.
Yes, when I told her to go down on her knees was after we stood her back up, and she said, "Uh-oh, I feel it again." I said, "Just go to your knees," and she went back down.
Yeah,
we had already stood her up the first time after that, but really, with somebody with dead weight, all you can do is just cradle their head and keep them from bouncing. So we just spun, and she went to the ground, and I went down on top of her with my hands behind her head. That's the only way we could do it.
You know what I'm remembering now? When I was on my knees, you were down on your knees holding me up, and I'm looking around, I'm going, he's not proposing people, we're already married.
You said that.
I did. I said, he's not proposing people, we're already married.
I don't know why you said that, but I do recall you saying that.
Yeah.
Zoe was out of it.
Oh my gosh.
And you saw even on the update video she did, I had picked her up. We were in the car. We got out of traffic, away from people. And she said, "Oh my God, I need to tell those people that were watching me that I'm okay." And I said, "Zoe, don't go back live. Just do a video and post it. It's fine." And she makes this video. Well, she still didn't have her color back.
I did not.
What doesn't sound right? Because Becky just said I needed to quit calling you dead weight. But you were passed out.
I was. Heat and crowds are factors for me to pass out. I have to skip Christmas services unless I sit the whole time. I can relate to that. I
Yeah.
can absolutely relate to that because it's just, I don't know. I feel like the older I'm getting, the more I do deal with it. This the whole people and that feeling without knowing what exactly that feeling is.
So when Zoe and I first got together, when we walked into church, and I attended a pretty large church, and Zoe would walk in holding my shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's done this a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do think
tell
said, "Tell me you go on your knee." Well, she did, and she looks up at these people around us and says, "We're already married. He's not proposing." And I was like, "Where did that
people
come
are
from?"
walking up, looking down because there's two people on their knees in the middle of this tree lighting ceremony. Just clarifying for them that it was.
Well,
if I not fun right now, guys.
If I was proposing, you should not be on your knees too. But she did announce to the people around us that I was not proposing, and the sheriff volunteer, I guess maybe a reserve deputy or something like that, helped me stand her up, and we walked over to a bench area and got her down. A full-time sheriff's deputy, a female deputy, was with us, and
Cassie said that she has to take a lot of deep breaths and tell herself she's okay now that she knows she's not dying. It helps. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing she really said was, "Oh my gosh, I'm getting dizzy."
I remember looking around, looking like, where can I sit down? Because I feel like I just need to sit down with my eyes. You know how you start to disconnect, and I'm looking, and I'm like, there is nowhere. There's a curb, this big, and I'm in a dress and heels, and I need to just sit down. Hey, look, tell everybody.
He said, "I wants to be in the live."
Don't touch the table.
Hey, don't kick the table. We're not starting that tonight.
Tell them, hey.
Hey.
Say, "Hey, Cassie."
Hey, Cassie.
Cassie's the one that wears your merch.
Oh.
Look
Hey, at that face.
Don't kick that table.
Stop.
Rhett.
I'm thirsty.
Okay.
Well, go get something to drink. They saying, "Hey, Farmer Rhett."
They are. Tell them what Mommy and Daddy brought you back.
He ain't gonna remember them shoes from that reel you did.
Yeah, so we got a Farmer Rhett. We went to Helen, Georgia. So we stayed at bed and breakfast.
Somebody made him mad.
Probably Bubba. Come here.
What is it, bud?
So we stayed at this really awesome bed and breakfast. Never done a bed and breakfast before, and they have set the bar really high. It is beautiful. If you ever go there,
you can have it.
You need to check out the Yellow Daisy. Oh goodness, cover mouth. Cover mouth. Okay. Oh goodness. So we were eating breakfast with the other people, and bring me his little shoes. They're right there in that blue bag. And here. I'll open it. They were telling us that Helen, Georgia, which is a German town. If you've ever been to Gatlinburg, it reminds me a lot of Gatlinburg. The way just the touristy part of it. Well, we found this little Holland.
It's a little Dutch store.
Dutch store. So we go in and they've got, those fancy blue and white kind of plates and silverware and I don't know the correct name.
All sorts of stuff.
Well, we went through there and we found Farmer Rhett some clogs. And we are so excited about these clogs. And we got home and Rhett said, "I don't like those."
He did.
He said,
"Well, he wanted a monster truck. You told him it was a surprise."
He said, "Where is my monster truck? I don't like those."
He did. Well, he liked them after he put them on. He wanted
They're very soft.
He wanted to know why he didn't get a toy.
So Daddy was going to get him wooden clogs because he knew Rhett was going to dance around and make all that noise.
Funny.
it was not going to be funny. Not at all. So we settled and got the house
Here,
shoe
bud.
clogs
Rat.
that
Here.
he says he's going to wear, but he don't like them at all.
Oh, gosh.
She said she went through having panic attacks for around 10 years. It was awful, and there was never anything that I knew of that made them happen. The doctor checked me for everything, and I was okay. Thank goodness, because I don't have them anymore. Yep.
What is that? Delft pottery?
That's
Is that what that's called?
the blue and white patterned.
So we had a comment on your reel. One of the subscribers
Yes.
is from
From
Holland. Is actually lives there now.
Yeah.
She lives in the Netherlands right now. And she said the wooden ones really do keep you warm.
Yeah. Which made no sense to me. Mr. Jim said Helen is an awesome little Bavarian village for couples. I was 7 years old, my first time on a family getaway. Yeah, I really want to, now that we've been there and saw everything, we really want to go back maybe next year and do the same trip, but for the family, because I feel like the kids would really enjoy doing that as well, because we like those little touristy type shopping, walking up and down. And Sarah said Angie really wants a piglet, so I was thinking you could take one over and drop it off in the living room, run away, so it's an abandoned, because they're taking in abandoned.
No, I can't do that to Wes.
Because Wes and
know.
Angie were saying they wanted to take in animals in need. That's right. It would be in need.
Yeah.
At that moment, it would be.
Your mom said Delft blue. I guess that's that stuff. It kind of looks like the is that called Blue Ridge plate stuff that we have? I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So Cassie was dealing with that at the creator conference.
That was me. So Nick kept telling me, you're not talking to anybody.
Yeah.
I would talk to people that I knew.
Yeah. That's
like,
it.
But me being able to engage with other people is so hard when my mind's just constant, this race of not saying the wrong thing or not sounding literate, not making sense. And so my mind goes into overdrive, and I'm friendly. If you engage me, I'm good, but I'm the same way. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Candy from Huntsville.
Hi, Candy. So Wendy said, did we go to the Cabbage Patch Doll Museum?
We drove right by it.
I had no clue it was that close, and I saw it, and I wanted to go back, but we had some other stuff to do, and I knew that would take a few hours to do that. But I want to do that. I would love to have one. I had Cabbage Patch
dolls. And we may do it when we take the kids back.
I had Cabbage Patch growing up. My grandmother is 90, and she still has her Cabbage Patch doll that is also 90 years old.
So I have a cousin who, if I remember correctly, her parents took her over there, and they actually do maybe like a birth thing where a doctor comes out with a mask and presents it. You pick the one you want, and you name it, and you get a birth certificate. Hey, Mr. Larry.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think I remember them taking a trip over there and doing that, but that may be something that we do when we take the kids back. I'm very thankful that for an anniversary trip, it was very clear that the bed and breakfast was adults only.
Yes. Miss Sue said what was the name of it because Rhett was coughing. It is the Yellow Daisy.
The Yellow Daisy bed and breakfast. Mm-hmm. And the owners just purchased it, and they were amazing.
Fantastic.
It was like go and visit a relative.
Yeah.
Where they tell you where everything is, and it's like, hey, this is all yours. This is our common areas. This is yours. There's wine if you want it. There's snacks. Here's where the coffee and tea is. Come and go as you want. Whatever. Here's the code to the door.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, it was and decorated really nice. You'll get to see some of that on the video. Don't expect a lot of video.
No.
Because it was an anniversary trip. But then again, we want to share
Uh-huh.
that stuff with y'all. So we did take some video of the town,
Mhm.
the little Irish pub that we ate at twice
Yeah.
because it was amazing. But we want to share a good bit of it. But then again, there's not a ton of video, but that'll be out tomorrow. So y'all
Yeah.
be watching for it, and you'll get to see a lot of that bed and breakfast and the way it was decorated, and it was gorgeous. It was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Cleveland was the name of the town. I think where
We passed through Cleveland.
that was where the
Coming
Cabbage
and
Patch Hospital is.
No.
Isn't it?
No, Cleveland was on our way back.
I thought that was the name of the place where the maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
I don't.
Either way, you drive right by it when you're going from Dahlonega to Helen. You drive right by the Cabbage Patch place.
Yes. So, my Nana Bear is on here, and she sent me some goodies, and I opened it up, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So you guys know that I love all my cooking and my baking. Well, she makes homemade extracts and sent me some. And I finally got them today because we've been gone all weekend. I wanted to share them with you guys. I've never seen these before. This is a star anise.
See, Ginger said Cabbage Patch Hospital's in Cleveland, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Told you.
She said set your camera 6 inches higher. Look. This is star anise, which is like a licorice flavor. These are all homemade. They can go in the cabinet, and I have to shake them every week. This is a vanilla extract with spiced rum, y'all. That is so cool. It's got vanilla beans in it. Yes, they do, Angie.
Angie's looking at your extract.
Look at this one. It's mint. Look at this. Let's see if I can see. It's got all them leaves in it. Then I got another one, which is just your vodka-based vanilla extract. I have a coconut. You can't see that because it's white. But it's got coconut in it. Coconut pieces. And I have an almond one as well. With almond in it, y'all. Y'all.
Those are going to be really good.
These
and it's
are gonna
like
be so
months before they're ready, right?
Yeah, like some, I think, tell me if I'm wrong. You told me there's a couple of them that are ready now, but the rest need to go in. They need to go in a dark cabinet, and you shake them every week.
And they'll be ready then.
Yes, I'm excited.
Katie, we talked about it a little bit
3 to
at the
6
beginning.
months. 3 to 6 months.
Katie asked, "Did you pass out?"
Yeah.
So we have talked about that at the first part of the live.
Right.
I hope you'll go back and get the full story. But yes, she did pass out.
I did on our live from Friday night, so you can kind of go back and watch that and see what all happened. And then I did an update right after that. We were in Dahlonega, Georgia, and we were doing a live video showing everybody the Christmas tree lighting. And there I went down with the countdown. And so it was kind of scary for a few minutes, but everything turned out all right. We got to continue on, and
yeah,
we're good.
Robin said she makes
did.
homemade extracts.
Yeah, you will have to share with me because I love the flavors, and it's going to open up my world a little bit with all my baking.
Yes, Diana just reminded everybody, hit the like button.
Yeah, she's going to make butter extract. I've never even heard of that. Butter extract. That would be good.
Now, I've heard of cocoa extract, but not butter.
Yeah, that would be really awesome.
That would be something to try.
Thank you, Katie. So what else you got to talk about?
Nothing. We've been gone all weekend. What is there to talk about? Mackenzie was taking care of the animals. So
All
since
the animals were fine.
the
Oh yeah, everybody. You made our last video, our
I did.
Thanksgiving video. We haven't talked since then.
you were still a little under the weather,
Yeah.
and I made the video, and it is, you talk about anxiety. See, I like the editing part. I like behind the scenes. And Zoe typically does most of the filming. Sometimes she will stick the camera in my face and make me say something. Or she'll say, "Hey, I need you to explain what you're doing. Go." And
You'll be talking to me, and I'll say, "Okay, tell me that again because I need it on video."
yeah, I'll tell her what's going on.
He did do
And-
great, y'all. I mean,
And
yep.
she throws it on me. "Hey, say that again." And I'm like, "Zoe, I'm busy." But with her under the weather, and we needed
We need
to get a video out.
and we wanted a Thanksgiving video.
We wanted one, just to kind of talk about what we were thankful for. We've been doing this for a year, and last Thanksgiving, just getting started, we didn't get to really do a Thanksgiving video.
Well, let me share this. Angie said she just started fermenting a jar of carrot sticks. I know we have lots of people in here who might enjoy that, Angie, so I'm sharing it.
Yeah.
She said Whispering Willows has put out a free downloadable ebook thing on fermenting foods, and it has a carrot fermentation recipe.
Whispering Willows is the one that bought Jessica's farm.
She did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the overalls she wears a lot. I think they're so cute.
But yeah, we just kind of went through. We were actually done with chores for the day, and I've videoed just walking through, checking on the animals, and then we walked the pig fence and just talked
That's all you gotta do.
while I went. So I
like
hope
not having
people
to
could understand me.
Yeah,
Maybe they could understand me.
I think you did great.
I don't prefer to do that. I prefer to be the hired labor and just do the editing, because I think Zoe has a better camera presence.
I do.
But Zoe, so we were talking about the anxiety. Zoe doesn't have anxiety on video because she knows I can edit it. So
Yeah.
she doesn't have to worry about what she's saying, and she'll say something and she'll stop. And she'll start over and say it again because she knows I can cut that part out.
Mm-hmm.
So when Zoe first started doing YouTube, oh my gosh, she was super anxious about everything that went, and maybe the live, I don't know, the live in the crowd may have made that worse because you're used to doing live.
Yeah, but I don't have people standing around watching me.
Yeah,
or hearing me.
That was different. That she's trying to do a live and everybody around her is watching, see what she's doing, and I bet you had already told 50 people, "Y'all, I've just got a YouTube channel." I bet you said it 50 times this weekend.
I know it. Angie said she was terrified to get in front of the camera at first for some reason. It is. I mean, it is. It's not what people think. It's really not. And it's when nobody else knows that you don't have somebody on the other side of that camera, but
Right.
Just knowing that I'm talking to myself, videoing,
That's all it is.
it's all it is. And I don't know. It's just, but I also think that's why some people can do the YouTube easier than they can deal with people interacting with people in public,
Yeah.
Jason
Jason
that's what I was about to say.
talks about having
that anxiety with dealing with people, but he can do it with the camera because it's just him. He can go out and say what he thinks and express himself, and there's no one giving him any negative feedback right then. I guess he can always get it in comments, but in that moment, he's just expressing himself, and you don't have to worry about somebody else's thoughts and opinions in that moment.
And while Cassie was on here, I wanted to check on her and see if she had healed up from the.
The
If y'all
heel- oh
didn't
my
watch that
gosh.
video, Cassie had some scary moments, and
Cassie, I couldn't have done it.
it took me a minute to realize what
could
was going
have.
on. She had a tree across the road, and she couldn't back up because it's so steep. So she's having to hold the brake on
Mhm.
her ATV, and finally figured out a way to kind of chalk it with a portable charger she uses. But then she had to move this tree because she couldn't turn around. She had to get it moved.
Gosh, she's probably
And
sore.
she had a little bit of injuries to her hands and stuff. So
She is.
I
Miss
wanted her to
Sue.
tell me, hey, yeah, I'm healing up, or I'm sore, or I needed to check on her.
Yes. If you guys, Nick said, have you saw the video?
I said, did you see what Cassie did? She's like, no. I said,
Go
watch it.
Yes. And I did. And I'm just sitting there the whole time going, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like my mind, and she's talking about it's getting dark.
And she's like, why can she not let go of the brake? And I was like, Zoe, it's a steep hill. She can, or it's going to roll.
I know, Carolyn. I told Nick, I said she could have, that could have been a bad fall if she had slid any farther or anything. Oh, yes, Angie. We do amazing things when we have to. It's just, I could not imagine having to. It would be hard for me. My mind doesn't work like that.
I'm glad that she thought about that.
Yeah.
Thing that she carries for charging, and just having a rope and being able to drop it behind the tire to at least hold it long enough for her to put rocks under it. But that was not a easy situation she was in. So if you haven't watched it,
life, like that was not scripted. That
go
was
watch it,
life.
because that was not a view thing.
No,
like you're passing out was.
Yes, yeah, like me just passing out for some views.
No, she was in trouble, and that was
Yeah, and the video don't do justice to how
see.
steep.
That's the thing.
We could tell that too. We knew it had to be steep just by the angle of the camera.
And that's what I told Zoe. She's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "You don't realize how steep that is." Mm-hmm. I said, "She's on a mountain. She's in trouble."
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
And she may have stepped off the live or whatever. But Cassie, if you're on here, you get back on, you need to update us and let us know how your hands are, because you were pretty scarred up by the time you got done fighting that tree.
We're talking about Cassie at Walker Farm Fam.
Yeah, and that's the one it was on. It wasn't on Catching Up. Jan, it was on Walker Farm Fam.
Yeah.
And Cassie and Gary are friends of ours. Cassie jumps on our lives from
that's right,
pretty regularly, and she is. They have an amazing channel. There's a lot of great video content they put out. They actually have two channels. One is Catching Up with the Walkers, and I love watching that because they're just talking. It's not lives, but they're talking and filling everybody in, and it's a really cool channel. But Cassie really got herself out of a bind.
Oh man, she did. That was something else.
The bad part is that even after she made the ATV safe, where it wasn't going to go rolling down the hill, and she was able to actually get off of it, now she has no choice but to move the tree because she's got no other way to turn around.
Right.
She's got to get to the top to be able to leave, or she's just stuck.
Yeah.
And
you know what I would have done? I would have just walked. I would have been. I wouldn't. I in my mind would not know what to do at that point. I probably would have just started walking.
If you watch though, prior to that video, she had ridden a pretty good way.
Yeah.
Now, granted, she may could have walked a little ways and got cell service.
I'm so grateful that she's okay and handled it the way she did. I would have walked because I would not have known to do all those things.
She may have been able to walk long enough to get cell service, but she didn't have cell service where she was. So
way out.
And that's part of hunting by yourself, and that's why when I did hunt, which with a farm and kids, I don't even go anymore. But when I did hunt, I always made sure that somebody knew where I was hunting because you can. Gosh, that's a whole different story. I had to come down without my tree stand once. Well, part of it left me. Part of my tree stand left me in the tree, and I had to come down the rest of the way without it. So that was a interesting story. But I did see as soon as she got home, she put a hatchet in her
She sure did.
backpack, and that's
She learned and she adjusted and adapted, and she added what she felt like she would need next time if it was to happen.
and that does happen.
It's
You
part of it.
you can't know everything you're gonna need. You just try to do the best you can. But
That's right, Miss Sue.
either way, y'all go check that video out because
Yeah. Ooh,
their channel's like ours. It's a farm channel and
family
stuff,
sports
but you do get yourself into a bind every once in a while, and thankfully our bind was on a live. I didn't have to try to video it. I just threw the phone on the ground and let everybody listen to you.
Angie said experience is the perfect teacher.
That is absolutely
the
right.
truth. Yep, that's right.
So after my little episode I just told you about, you never forget to tie the stand together.
Oh gosh.
As long as none of my other favorites go live. So
Jason went live earlier. So is he going live again?
I don't know.
I haven't heard. We haven't talked to them today.
Jason typically goes live at 7, but he may have had to do it early today or something. I don't know. I missed
it. Might have been something they had to share. We were riding and I didn't get on there.
Oh, I guess that's why we were driving back from Georgia, so I missed it. But they typically go at 7. And Jan, I'm fairly certain you probably watch Cog Hill.
So if any of you have sent me some emails, I wanted to say this before we. If any of you have sent me any emails or reached out about any baking, I did a little last week, but we were sick and all, so we just took a breather, and I'll start back doing a little bit of baking this week, but I'll get back into full swing the end of the week or next week because we have some other stuff. I'm donating a cake for a fundraiser. And me and a friend of mine, Chrissy, are putting together the kids area for our next holiday party for work. And so we've got a bunch of stuff going on with that, getting that ready this week. So if you've emailed me and you have not heard back from me, email me again because I've replied to everybody that I've replied to everybody that's messaged me.
You were trying to.
So if you haven't heard from me, please just message me again because I promise I'm not ignoring anybody. We've just had a lot going on, getting over the sickness and all, and we went away for early. And I got to plan Farmer Rhett's birthday because his birthday is Sunday. Next Sunday, he's going to be 4. And then
Farmer Rhett going to be 4 years old.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Our baby is not a baby no more. So I just wanted to say that.
Miss Sue said they better, but I've gotten 2 people that said they will be on later. He just did a live on Moody's Food Bowl, so it was something short. But
yes.
So they will be on at 7.
Well, thank you, Angie. Hey, Papa's Kitchen. So we're coming up on our 5th anniversary. It's actually December the 6th. But we went ahead and celebrated early because we didn't want to take away from Farmer Rhett next week. And
Jody, no.
Jody said it's time for another baby. We are all babied out. So, that factory is long gone, closed down.
Naturally and biologically.
Right.
But once we get moved to the farm, we have talked about fostering.
Yeah.
And we may do that.
Yeah, we just have to have some more room.
Yeah, we definitely have to have more room. So
I definitely would love to do fostering.
Once we get moved to the farm, you may see that come later.
Yeah.
But yes, Jan, we have our 5th anniversary coming up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we had to go a little early. I will actually be in a training class for work the week of our anniversary.
That's right.
And I wanted to get this scheduled. It wasn't just picking a random day. Zoe is a huge Hallmark movie fan,
Mhm.
and there have been 4 filmed in this town that we stayed in. So I wanted to make sure that she got to go to the Christmas tree lighting ceremony and all that for this little Hallmark town.
Yeah.
Which, as you saw during the countdown, she missed the Christmas tree lighting, but
But it was beautiful after.
yeah, and
So-
you'll get to see some of that on the video tomorrow. How about
Mr. Jim said you better get checked out before you start going full stream again. Understand?
that? She will.
Got it. I'm gonna
You
do
have
that
my
this
word.
week. Yeah, I'm gonna do that this week.
Thank you, Diana.
Yeah.
It's just one. We had made
Last year.
Zoe
Mhm.
and Mackenzie and I all had hoodies made with our farm names.
Yeah.
And it might be something that ends up on the website. Who knows?
Ain't no telling.
Head Family,
We're getting there.
Jacqueline with Head Family Farm should be through with the website pretty soon. And whenever that's up and running, we'll put whatever we can out there.
That's right. Jan said that she just passed their 41st anniversary. 48 years together.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it.
Jill's going to bed.
I am feeling better. Thank you, Miss Mary.
Jody, I do plan a trip for next year. We got
crazy,
super
Lizzie.
lucky because typically the bed and breakfasts in that town are booked way in advance, and I've never been able to book it that far in advance due to work. These people had just purchased an existing bed and breakfast.
An
So-
established one, yeah.
Yeah, booking had not gone into effect yet there. So they bought it, got it closed on, got moved in, got everything prepared and ready, and opened booking. And luckily I got in, and I plan on going ahead and booking it for next year as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, we'll be going back.
Pawpaw's Kitchen said 39 years to his first wife coming up.
Goodness.
He said first wife with a laughy face. So I don't know.
Well, if it's been 39 years, you better hurry up if there's going to be a second.
Look, she
That is an idea, Nora. You see what Nora said?
should wear that shirt next time Zoe is in filming in public so she doesn't have to tell everyone she is on YouTube.
That's a good idea. Maybe Zoe won't have to tell everybody that's looking weird at her that
I'd be like, I'm just filming for my YouTube channel. Mr. Larry said Peggy and he celebrated 51 years on the 13th.
oh goodness.
Y'all, that's goals. That's goal. Well, I don't know if we'll make 51 years, but I'd like to get as many.
I'm
in
not
as we
going to live
can.
long enough to be married to you 51 years.
Yeah. You still got, you're able.
You've already
it's
told
possible.
everybody how old I am, and
Well, I mean, that don't change anything.
that's way on up
You're
there.
old as you are.
That's way on up there.
I got 10 more years than you in me.
I know.
All right. you
We
ready?
need to wrap up so everybody has time to get to Cog Hill.
We gotta fix us some dinner.
And what's Cog Hill's life?
That's right.
We got to moderate, and then I got to edit video. So I got a busy night.
Luckily, you're off tomorrow.
I am off tomorrow, but then I got to get some coffee in me.
He said, "Shoot, ain't letting another one take any more of my bad habits away.
Don't-
Might as well just keep going with what you got."
I know exactly what you're talking about because I used to hunt and fish and have all kind of hobbies, and now I just have a farm and kids.
That's right.
I forget Jody is lunchtime
Uh-huh.
where she's
That's
at.
right. All right, you guys. Thank you,
You're
Miss
still
Karen.
getting some comments.
Yeah,
so
she said she watched the live and they're glad that
Okay.
I'm feeling better. And you did such a good job.
Thanks, guys. We will see you. The video will be out tomorrow, and we'll see you live again Wednesday.
All right.
Good
Bye,
night, guys.
y'all.